What if the person you can't forget was never meant to be forgotten? Some connections aren't coincidence, they're confirmation. You didn't meet them by accident. Heaven aligned that moment. When God shows you your soulmate, it feels familiar, not forced. Not every love is loud. Some are divinely quiet. Your soul recognized them before your mind understood. If it keeps returning to your heart, it may already be written. Peace in their presence is not attachment, it's alignment. God doesn't send confusion with destiny. He sends inner knowing. Maybe you're not waiting for your soulmate. Maybe you've already met them. Maybe you're still asking God for your soulmate, not realizing He already crossed your path with them. Some connections don't arrive with fireworks. They arrive with familiarity, with a strange sense of peace, with conversations that feel effortless and silence that still feels safe. In this video, we'll uncover 5 powerful signs that God has already shown you the one meant for you. Signs hidden in timing, in separation, in growth, and in the quiet pull your heart can't ignore. Because when something is written by God, it doesn't create chaos in your spirit. It creates recognition, and your soul always knows before your mind does. Sign 1. You felt peace, not pressure. When God shows you your soulmate, it doesn't begin with anxiety. It begins with peace, not the loud, dramatic kind of love that keeps you guessing, but the quiet kind that settles your spirit. Around them, you didn't feel the need to perform. You didn't feel like you had to prove your worth. You felt accepted, naturally, effortlessly. Even when circumstances were unclear, your heart wasn't chaotic. There was a strange calmness in their presence. Conversations flowed without force. Silence didn't feel awkward. You felt safe being seen. That peace wasn't random. It was a spiritual alignment. Because what is sent by God doesn't confuse your soul. It comforts it. Even if the journey later became complicated, the foundation was calm. And that kind of calm is rare. If someone brought tranquility to your restless heart, if their presence felt like home in the middle of uncertainty, that may have been your first divine sign. Sign 2. The connection felt familiar. Have you ever met someone and felt like you already knew them? Not in a logical way, but in a soul-deep way. You didn't need months to feel connected. The bond felt natural from the beginning. Their energy matched yours. Your humor is aligned, your values mirrored. Even your wounds seemed to understand each other. It felt less like meeting someone new and more like remembering someone you had forgotten. That familiarity is powerful, because when God aligns 2 souls, recognition happens before reasoning. You don't have to force chemistry. You don't have to chase compatibility. It flows. And even if time or distance separated you, the feeling never completely disappeared. Something about them still feels known, still feels significant. That's not an obsession. That's resonance. Sometimes God doesn't introduce your soulmate with a dramatic sign. Sometimes He lets your spirit whisper, "This feels right," and that whisper is louder than logic. Sign 3. They triggered your growth. Soulmates don't just make you happy, they make you grow. When this person entered your life, something inside you shifted. You started seeing yourself differently. You became more aware of your wounds, your fears, your patterns. Not because they hurt you, but because their presence reflected parts of you that needed healing. It wasn't always comfortable. In fact, at times it felt intense. But growth rarely feels easy. They inspired you to become better, to mature emotionally, to communicate deeper, to face things you once avoided. And even in separation, you found yourself evolving. That's not a coincidence. That's the purpose, because when God shows you your soulmate, He doesn't send them just to complete you. He sends them to transform you. They awaken parts of you that were sleeping. If loving them made you stronger, wiser, more self-aware, even through pain, then that connection carried divine intention. Sign 4. Distance didn't erase the bond. Time passed, silence happened, maybe circumstances pulled you apart. But somehow, the connection never fully faded. You tried distracting yourself. You tried convincing your mind it was over. Yet your heart remained quietly connected, not in desperation, but in depth. When something is temporary, distance weakens it. When something is destined, distance reveals it. You may not speak every day. You may not even understand what the future holds. But the emotional thread between you never completely broke. That's because some connections are spiritual, not situational. If years can pass and they still feel significant, if your heart still reacts when you hear their name, if the bond feels paused rather than finished, that could be a sign God's timing is still unfolding. Divine connections don't disappear easily. They wait, they mature, they return when the timing aligns. Sign 5. Your intuition keeps pointing back to them. No matter how much you analyze it, your intuition keeps returning to the same answer. You've questioned it, you've doubted it, you've tried to silence it. But deep down, something inside you whispers their name, not out of fear, not out of loneliness, but out of inner knowing. God often speaks through intuition, through that quiet feeling that doesn't need proof. And when someone is meant for you, your spirit feels it before your life reflects it. You don't feel obsessed, you feel certain, even in uncertainty. It's that unexplainable pull, that recurring thought, that subtle peace when you imagine a future with them. And even when you try to let go, your heart doesn't feel finished. If your inner voice keeps gently guiding you back to them, not in chaos, but in clarity, that may be the final sign, because when God shows you your soulmate, your soul recognizes them long before destiny fully reveals them. Before you leave, pause for a moment. If even one of these signs touched your heart, don't ignore that feeling. Sometimes God speaks softly, and this video may have been your confirmation. Maybe this isn't about chasing someone. Maybe it's about trusting divine timing. If you believe God has already shown you your person, comment, "I trust your timing" below. And if you're still waiting, comment, "I believe." Let your faith speak before your fear does. Your story isn't random. Your connection isn't accidental. What's written for you will never miss you, and what's meant for your soul will always find its way back.